What's up, guys? So I just wanted to show you a hack that I normally use throughout the week so that I am less likely to go out and buy food, and I can also use the veggies that I buy from the grocery store. So there were times in my life where I had the greatest intention to eat more vegetables, but the problem was that one, I didn't really know what to do with the vegetables or how to make them taste good. And two, I didn't like the idea of having to sit here and cut all my vegetables up before making the meal. So what I have learned to do, and this is a learned habit, so you have to start making time for this. What I've learned to do is I would go ahead and say about 30 minutes or so of your day, which is a TV show. If you want to listen to a podcast, you can listen to a podcast. You can definitely do that. But 30 minutes of your day to go ahead and cut vegetables up. So the reason I recommend cutting vegetables up is because one, you'll have them readily available, so you have no excuse to not use your vegetables. And two, you are more likely to use your vegetables if they're already cut up. Because a lot of times during the week, we're always going. So we really don't want to have to pause, cut vegetables, because don't get me wrong, cutting vegetables is a task. So if you already have them cut, take maybe like a day out of the week to go ahead and cut them up. Go ahead and get vegetables that you actually enjoy. Don't get vegetables that you're totally unsure of. So I have a variety of vegetables here that I've already cut and prepped, but now I'm going on to my potatoes. So potatoes are something that I always have prepared. Right now I just ran out, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut these up. But I love potatoes. Potatoes go with anything. You can have potatoes with your protein and some broccoli. You can have potato soup. You can add potatoes in a vegetable soup. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I make my vegetable soup. It's gonna be posted here in the corner. And just show you what I do. I'm gonna teach you how to make my vegetable soup. I'm gonna go ahead and post that link up here. This is for when you have your vegetables cut and you still haven't used them yet. So vegetable soup is a really great idea just to get those veggies out of the way, and it tastes delicious if you season it right. So a lot of the times when it comes to veggies, seasoning is the main thing. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just show you that prepping vegetables is great. So I have already cut some up. So I have zucchini, cauliflower, and celery in one. I have zucchini, carrots, and cauliflower in another. And then if you like mushrooms, I have mushrooms prepared as well. You can always cut potatoes. The way I cut my potatoes is that I leave the skin on these gold potatoes or yellow potatoes, but I always peel my sweet potato. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start. The best way to get set up for this is go ahead and have your cutting board, the knife that you're going to be using, a peeler, and then also have a nice big bowl to where once you're done with the chunks, because the cutting board is not going to be able to hold it anymore, you're just going to throw the chunks in here, and then you can easily rinse this out or rinse the potatoes off again, strain them, and then you can put them in a bag. So I'm going to go ahead and start. So this is going to be sped up so I don't bore you to death. Alright guys, so I have already peeled my sweet potatoes. So I forgot to mention beforehand, I already went ahead before I started this video, is just dumped all my potatoes that I want to cut in the sink and then just wash them down. So like I was saying before, I don't normally peel the potatoes that are like the lighter skin potatoes. I usually keep the skin on because I don't really mind the skin, but if you are somebody that wants to peel it, you can definitely do that. The only time I skin the potato is when it's a sweet potato because the flavoring of the skin is not very good. Whoops, party foul. Gotta rinse that one back off. So like I was saying before, go ahead and have your cutting board available, your knife and your peeler if you need to peel anything, and then a colander or a large bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of give you a demonstration on what it looks like when you're just able to cut and throw this in here. So I have this knife. I'm going to go ahead and swap knives because one, this is not a good cutting knife, and 2, my husband would be mad at me if he saw me cutting with this knife. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that. Got the right knife. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just speed this up so that you can see how easy it is just to transition the vegetables that you're cutting, whatever it is, into a colander so that you can rinse them off again. And by the way, before I completely start, these cuts do not have to be perfect, because if you're throwing this into a soup, if you're throwing this into the oven, nobody is gonna really care what size these things are when they're eating them, as long as they have something to eat. So that's another tip for you. It doesn't really matter if your food is beautiful or not. The biggest thing is, like, do you have something to eat? Because that's all your body really cares about. It doesn't matter how pretty it looks, it just matters, your body really just wants food. So don't over perfect your cut. So as long as you're cutting your food, getting your veggies ready, you are doing good. So like I said, we're speeding this up, so I'm not boring you to death. All right, guys, so just really quick, with the sweet potato, or any potato or any vegetable, if you notice anything that's like this, where it looks bad to you, it more than likely is. So just go ahead. It doesn't mean the whole vegetable is bad. Just go ahead and cut that area off, and then you should be clean, okay? Now, if you are to cut, say if you were to cut a smaller piece, so a thinner slice, and you still see like that blackish color, go ahead and cut a little deeper until the cut is clean on the inside, okay? Once it's clean, that means you're still able to eat it. So another tip really quick, I just thought of it, when you are doing your potatoes, so if you have done the white potatoes or the baking potatoes, just know that you can actually leave those chunks a little bigger. Now when it comes to sweet potatoes actually take longer to cook, and if you notice, they're probably a lot harder to cut. That's just because they're more dense compared to the regular white potatoes. So if you want, you can definitely cut these into smaller pieces. You can hear right now how hard and thick the sweet potato is, so that when you do cook these guys, because normally I cook sweet potatoes and regular potatoes together, that they're cooking at around the same temperature. So like I said, the white potatoes or the lighter skinned potatoes cook faster than sweet potatoes. So that's why if you are cutting these up, go ahead and cut them into at least smaller cubes or thinner slices. In my meal preparation video, remember how I told you I used the wrong knife? So I ended up using the wrong knife anyways. I don't really know knives. My husband is a knife person, so he knows what knife is the right knife to use. I have never been taught that. So I've just kind of used knives as knives, like, oh, they cut things. But yeah, I just want to let you know that, so that if you are somebody that, like me, who has no idea what knives, like what their purposes are, don't feel alone, because I am that way. Like I said, I've never been taught. I didn't know knives had different duties. So yeah, I just want to let you know that, because I feel really awesome knowing that that whole video is still being used. I'm still using the wrong knife. So I thought you guys might enjoy that. All right, guys, so I didn't get to show you about the gallon bags, but go ahead and put your chopped vegetables in gallon bags. You can label the bags as well. And if you want to reuse these bags, you can definitely do that. You do not have to worry about cross-contamination with fruits and vegetables. So this is my food preparation video, and I hope you guys enjoy. And I'll continue making videos to help you become prepared and also make you feel good in the decisions you make when it comes to food, and to live your life and enjoy it. So I'll see you guys soon.